Farm Wife fam. It's Angela, the Inquisitive Farm Wife. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I was recently in a pie collaboration. I'll post a link to that video of the pie that I made if you'd like to see that. But I was inspired to try a new recipe and I thought I'd bring you along with me. We're also going to do a bonus recipe where I take my instant pie in a jar, I'll link that video somewhere, and reconstitute and make a pumpkin pie because I've got a celebration to get ready for and I've got some pies I want to get made. So come on down, let's get busy. So the first pie we're going to work on is our ready to bake pumpkin pie. So I basically added all the milk and the eggs and all the things you need to make a pumpkin pie, and I freeze dried it and I put it in this jar. So I'm going to dump this in here and I want to make sure, there it is. Go ahead, dump all that in. And I want to get my moisture absorber out of there because we don't want to bake that in there. And really all you need to do is add 2 cups of water, but I'm going to go ahead and make this a little extra creamier, and instead I'm going to reconstitute with 2 cups of my fresh cow's milk. We already have milk in this along with our eggs and our seasonings and pumpkin that I had roasted and made myself. So all I want to do here, friends, is I'm just going to kind of mix this up and we're going to let it reconstitute. I just don't want any lumps. Go ahead and whisk it really good. It smells just like the day that I made it. Nice and thick. I'm just going to set this aside. I have 2 pie crusts here that we made earlier. I'll link that somewhere. And I'm going to set this aside for a minute. We don't need those quite yet. Those were in the freezer and I've had them out thawing. Next, what I want to do is start on our caramel pecan pie. So grab yourself a bag of caramels. These are kind of getting harder for me to find, but you can usually get them around Halloween time for caramel apples. And boom! You're supposed to have 36 of these caramels, but there was only 31 in my bag, and that's okay. To this, I'm going to add a half a stick of butter. And we need a 1/4 cup of milk. And we'll take this over to the stovetop to let it start melting. Okay, so we don't want this to scorch. We just want to keep checking this and stirring it every little bit. We want it to be melted and smooth. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and grab our pies here, our pie crust. And we are ready to put our pumpkin pie in. Okay, you guys are gonna love this. Look how thick and creamy this is. Pleased after time has elapsed that I have done this. I'm just going to spread this out and I'm going to kind of play with the crust a little bit, kind of push it forward. Okay. See if we can't make a little design here. And we're gonna go ahead and get this in the oven at 400 degrees. And we're gonna let this cook about 15 minutes before we put the next pie in. So next, we're gonna get some pecans. We need approximately 1 cup chopped. I think I'll flip it over and use that in for a little more room here. So I'm gonna grab a couple of handfuls here. Because once you chop them, it doesn't take up as much space. So we wanna make sure we have plenty of them. Pecans, pecans, however you wanna say it. And we're just gonna do rough chop. I think you could leave them as halves and, you know, make pretty designs if you want, but the recipe suggested chopping them, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my second pie crust, take off my plastic. I'm gonna put those right on in that shell. And then we're gonna mix together our eggs, our sugar, vanilla, and salt. So that's gonna be 3 large farm fresh eggs. My largest egg here on the farm is a duck egg. If you've been around, you know I love using a duck egg. Just had a quick little whisk. 3/4 cup of sugar. So that's 1/4 plus 1/2. Says 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, but I mean, you know, a glug. That's probably about 3 times that amount. And then we're gonna go ahead and put in just 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Doesn't take much, but a little bit of salt will actually enhance all the flavors. So let's give that a quick whisk. What I want to do here is I want to temper these eggs. So I don't want to put all this hot caramel in at once. I'm just going to slowly, ever so slowly, drizzle that in here with the eggs. Because I don't want to cook these eggs. Nobody wants an egg scrambled pecan caramel pie. We just want to bring the two to the same temperature. And we're just going to pour it over the top. Oh, it smells wonderful. It really wasn't very hard. I think the hardest part was not eating the caramels when I was unwrapping them. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to kind of poke these bubbles and get that caramel mixture right down in with these pecans. All right, now I'm going to do what I did before and kind of see if I can't do something with that edge. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting a store-bought pie crust. I just happen to have some in the freezer today. And we're going to put this in a 350-degree oven. And we're going to check on it at about 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to put this pie crust cover on here to kind of protect that. And we'll take it off when it's close to being done baking. Our pumpkin pie is out of the oven. It did crack a little. I think I've over baked it. So evidently 40 minutes was too long because there is no jiggle left at all to this. Small amount of jiggle, I think it's perfect. I am so very glad that you came into the kitchen with me today as we baked some delicious pies. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for popping in. We'll see you next time. Bye for now, friends.